Welcome back to the Death Curse Club. Happy Halloween week. Let's get into it. Today we have an interview with not just one, two extraordinary guests. We have director Tom Dolby, who directed the new stand-up comedy special, Samantha Hale, Horror Nerd, and we have Samantha Hale, writer and performer of that, on as well. And it's a wonderful conversation. We get into the cool parts of the behind the scenes of making the special, because I didn't want to get into too many bits because I want you to watch this special. It's on Amazon, it's on Apple, wherever you can purchase on VOD. That's where you can pick this up. And I highly suggest it for Halloween week to get a spooky comedy horror time in your life. I think it's perfect, especially for someone who is not that much into horror. I think it hits on all notes. Our discussion, our conversation, we get into some behind the scenes stuff. We get into personal stuff that gets brought out in this said stand-up comedy special. It's a wonderful time. I think you're going to enjoy it. Director Tom Dolby, performer, writer Samantha Hale, up next on the Death Curse Club. Stick around.
Of all the franchises, of all the boogeymen, do you know who has the top kill count when it comes to parents? It's Walt Disney. Think about all the things that have happened to parents in Disney movies over the years. They killed Simba's dad, Tiana's dad, Aladdin's mom and dad. Snow White had to move in with a bunch of dwarves. Mowgli was raised by wolves. Dory's parents lost her. They turned Merida's mom into a bear. They killed Cruella's mother and her other mother. And Alice's parents let her pop a bunch of pills and fall down a hole.
I am graced with a presence of a director and a comedian for today's interview. I have Tom Dolby and Samantha Hale for her new special, Samantha Hale, Horror Nerd. Thank you for coming on, guys.
Thank you for having us. And I love that you said horror nerd. It's like you do have to really hit the H pretty hard.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure,
There's no W, right.
And yeah, it's your gimmick. It's your gimmick in your show, so I don't want to step on toes. First of all, I would like to ask, how did you, Samantha, decide that you wanted to go into a horror direction in your comedic styles, if you will?
Yeah, I would say actually, in a weird way, I have to thank the pandemic a little bit because basically the world stopped, right? Los Angeles was shut down. None of us could work for almost 2 years. And so I had to find ways to entertain myself and keep myself inspired. So just for fun, I started going to all of these iconic horror locations that we have. We have the Michael Myers house, Nightmare on Elm Street house, People Under the Stairs house, Insidious house, Poltergeist house. I could go on. So I would just make funny videos in front of the actual house, roasting the killer or just a childhood memory or something. And it got a really amazing response. So I thought, let me keep going with this. And then when the world opened again, a dear friend of mine, Sarah Taylor, who had a show at the Hollywood Improv at the time, she's like, you have so much material. Why don't you pitch this to the Improv? And I thought, I don't know if they'll go for it, but sure, I'll try. And lo and behold, they said yes. And I thought maybe this will be a Halloween time thing or a one-time thing. And it got such a great reception that we just kept going. We're almost 4 years in now.
That's so amazing. So you have a show, the Horror Nerd show at the Improv on a constant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so Tom Dolby, you are the director of her special when it, eventually is, coming to fruition. How did you get involved in this?
I met Sam actually 4 years ago, just when you were starting. I think you had done a show and you were telling me about it. And we met at this comedy club in Burbank. I was just starting to do comedy. I was actually taking a class and she was a teacher. And she immediately, within half an hour of the class, she just looks at me and she's like, you and I are going to be friends. And we're going to do something together, And so, our relationship just built on that. And when she came to me and wanted to do her next special, it's her second special, and focus it on the horror theme. I mean, I just thought it was so great. It's so it's so unusual. First of all, nothing like this exists out there.
Right.
But also just the opportunities as a director to really embrace the theme and think about like how can we make it accessible to horror fans but also accessible to mainstream people. And there were definitely jokes where I was like, Sam, I'm not sure what you're talking about here. And I'm like, not everybody knows that reference. And
I'm like, what do you mean? Everybody knows.
we dropped that a little bit. And it was interesting because the show is so autobiographical for Sam that it's I think, Sam, I think you were just really brave in like opening yourself up to that process because there's all this really personal material.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. And that is a question that I get all the time is, oh, so it's just an hour of jokes about the movies? I'm like, not really. It's more of like Tom and I took a lot of inspiration from Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking, if you've seen it. It's very vulnerable, it's very intimate. But there are structured punchlines. Obviously, she wants you to laugh, but it's more her life story. And so for me, so the thing is, both of my parents have passed away, and my dad is the one who got me into this. So there's an extreme emotional connection to horror because it reminds me of my dad, my childhood, the fun times. And it's about I mean, you're a horror fan. It's like, it's more than just, oh, Michael Myers is cool. It's like that movie, Halloween, that whole atmosphere took me to another world and it transported me. And I find something new and beautiful every time I watch that movie.
Right, right. And I picked up on your personal levels on this because, yes, it is funny. That's kind of the amazing part of your special is that yes, it's a comedy special, but I looked at it as like a one-person show because you would do comedy bits or, things that are referenced about a movie, but then you always said like, I'm going to let you in on my life a little bit. And you did that like a few times during it, and it really makes you connect to an audience. And I was wondering like, how do you know where to place those moments? Like, how do you know when it's like, I got you, now let me make you emotional?
Good question. Well, you know what? There's almost a little bit of like a tension and release style, which is a joke structure really in comedy, where it's like, hey, I'm going to push the audience and make them a little uncomfortable, either with a sad story, a dark story, a risque story, whatever it may be. And then I'm going to put them in this tension. It's very similar to a horror film. I'm going to have them be scared because they're running from the killer. And then they trip. Oh my God. But then she gets up and she lives. That's the punchline, is you get up and you live. You laugh.
Right, right. Wow. And then on the other foot of Tom here, you're trying to like embrace an atmosphere because you're doing it at an iconic place like the Improv. But if you notice, it's very dimly lit. You have like red curtains, there's candles and stuff like that. Like, I wanted to know what made you want to go with that aesthetic to make it look different, but not too, like, it wasn't hardcore gothic, but there was goth presence. How did you come up with that idea?
No, thank you for asking this. It's such a good question, because it definitely was part of our process. The first thing is like, okay, in my fantasy world, do we have like $100,000 and we build a set that looks like, a scene out of the Addams Family? And it's like, okay, we don't have 100. Sam's like, that would be amazing.
Sorry. Could you imagine?
Sorry.
But I feel like that wouldn't quite be right, because it would overwhelm the stories, and yet, your typical comedy special is, it's just like against a curtain sometimes.
Simple. Yeah.
Which can work or can be very boring. And so it was like striking that balance of sort of like elevating it and providing these little kind of symbols, like, the candelabras and the little columns. And we had that, that little settee that was sort of very, very goth looking. And just those little clues, I think, made it that atmosphere. Also, just in transforming the lab at the Improv, we really wanted this cabaret style. You may notice, we put in those flickering red lamps, and I was like, I want it to look like something out of like the movie Cabaret, and some kind of spooky horror show. So
and you do it really well, especially when there's sections when you want to show the audience as well the reaction to Samantha's jokes. Like it does a split screen thing where you can focus. Like, how did you know that you wanted to go that route where you have to involve the audience?
Yeah. Could you tell what the split screen reference was from?
No, you'll get me on this.
Okay.
Is it Hitchcock?
No, from Carrie. From Carrie.
Okay.
Yeah, where they do in the the prom scene, they do these splits, and I was like literally studying them. I made like a whole list of like how do they do it? Do they do third? They do third sometimes and halves. And,
Wow.
very particular. But it was this idea of like these two red lines, which felt very kind of like this homage to Carrie and homage to sort of horror tropes of the 1970s, and you see in all those like genre movies where you have like a split screen, you'll have like the killer and then like someone on the telephone.
Yes. Yeah.
That thing, and it's very campy and silly, but we really, I mean, the editor John Butler and I really embraced the opportunity to show the audience and show Sam and what she was doing at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
This is our big gymnasium scene. No pigs were hurt in the filming of this special.
No. What was something that you definitely wanted to have on during this production and making this? Like, it seems like it's very collaborative, Samantha, but what is something that was like, no, there's no discussion, I'm going to wear this outfit, or I want to say this joke? What was something very important that you wanted to make sure it came across?
Well, I think the dress itself really showed what my background is. And I have to give a shout out to Adam McGee, who designed it. His wonderful husband, Chad Michaels, who is the best Cher impersonator on the planet, winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. So they made this dress. Yeah. And if you want to get anything done, you have a drag queen do it. You know what I mean? So I said, I want The Craft meets Elvira meets Morticia meets Wednesday. Like, that was the vibe that I was going for, because that's going to make me feel like, I don't know, like I am this person, this horror nerd.
Right. Right.
But also glamorous. Very much Elvira, very much like Jennifer Tilly in some of her movies. Like, very, that whole look. And I was, as director, it was so exciting. I think you put me on FaceTime because you had to drive down to San Diego, right?
It did, yeah.
Where they live, and it was so great. And it was like she was doing a fitting, and I'm first of all like, how are they making this like in like 2 weeks? This is amazing.
It's amazing.
This like completely custom dress. It was really visionary, and and then working out those things like how long are the sleeves and how many. Sam has these amazing tattoos. How many of the tattoos do we show? All that stuff.
Right.
So I didn't have this ghost tattoo. I specifically got this for the taping. I'm like, if my arm's gonna be up, I want a big effing ghost on it. I literally got this tattoo for the special.
Holy crap!
I don't have enough tattoos already.
I know. It's a thing. Once you get one, it's like Pandora's box. You just keep getting them. But I think that the settee, that's the lounge chair, basically. Yeah. I think that was like our respect and homage to Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, of course, because she's a trailblazer. She created an entire path for women in horror who were funny and hot, I'd like to think. But and that's why I think I'm particularly proud of that opening kind of monologue where I talk about I found Morticia Addams, and then I found the Grand High Witch, and then I found Winifred Sanderson, and then I found Elvira, and then The Craft. Because all of these women really shaped who I am today. Right.
And what's great about that is like you get to be the first of your kind in this art field of. One of my favorite bands is Ice Nine Kills, and I think it's really neat that they do horror movies into music. So when I got this opportunity to talk to you both, like, it wowed me. I was like, oh wow, it's going to a different medium now, and that's neat.
Yeah.
Because of that, I was wondering, is there more material? Like horror movies, we love sequels. Do you have more material to make for a horror nerd 2 this time it's personal?
Oh my God, 1,000%. This time it's personal. What is this? Jaws? Is this Jaws the Revenge?
Yes,
Oh my God.
100%.
I'm coming back for your great grandchild.
We're skipping right to 4.
I know. And I adore. Actually, Tom, I think I did have a joke about how that's like the cheesiest movie, and that it just proves that Michael Caine will do anything, and that I think I even, and thank God Tom was like, no, we're not doing that, because I had an idea of like, what if we play the sound effect? Because remember when the shark jumps out and it roared like a tiger?
Yes.
I'm like, sharks don't do that.
Right.
Anyway, thank you, Tom, for reeling me in on that one. But yeah, I mean, I think any comic, anytime our brains were like, oh man, I could have done that joke better. Oh man, I have a better tag. Or we are always like revamping and reinventing and adding. But I think you'll get a kick out of this. The one joke that I have now that I wish would have happened by the time we filmed this was so Spencer is a buddy of the podcast that I do, the Horror Nerds podcast. And so we got to go to the Terrifier through The Art of Dying. We were on set that day.
Shut up.
Yes. And my best new favorite story on the planet is, so in between takes, where the band was shooting like the main kill scene, it was super hot because they have to turn off the AC, right, during take. It was like July we filmed it. Right. So I'm standing in the hallway in between takes. I don't realize I'm in between David Howard Thornton's dressing room. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, that room was rather moist. And then he popped just his head out and was like, moist? Like, it was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So now anytime I see him, I'm just like, hey, David, moist? And that's
fantastic.
That's our new bonding moment. And I did get to go down and be a part of the parade scene of Spencer's new the Joker themed video. And
laugh track.
Yeah, laugh track. He looked amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Christopher Nelson. He is incredible, the makeup that he does. Oh my God.
Yeah, he performed here a month ago, and he had the green hair, and I was like,
so good.
I wonder why his hair's green. And now
That's
I know why.
Yeah.
Tom, what about you? What did you learn from directing this special that you want to carry on in future projects? Like, what's a big takeaway from you?
Yeah, it was so interesting for me because differently from doing a feature, this is like doing one scene with one character, and we had basically 2 takes because we did 2 and we had 4 angles, we had 4 cameras, and weird things can happen, like one camera can be like out of focus, or the handheld can be like a little too shaky, so you're like, boom, can't use that one,
right.
And so you hone in on the performance, and so much of editing with this is intuitive because it's like taking people through Sam's story, and it's like, okay, she's getting really personal here, and like this is very obvious, but like, okay, we're gonna like zoom in a little bit, and now you can do all those things digitally, which is beautiful, that you can really shape it in post. But our director of photography and our 4 camera operators did an incredible job, and that was also really fun. I mean, I had the most fun that day, honestly, because I was upstairs in a room looking at all 4 feeds, and I was like on comms talking to them, and it would be like, okay, like, go back, like some of it was like, I want to see her legs because she looks really good. or like, zoom in like a little bit here, or like, or just directions, like this is the joke where she's gonna sit down on the settee, so like get ready.
Right.
Or this is a joke where she does like a lot of big physical comedy, so get ready to move the camera around a bit. That was really exciting, and you don't have that on a feature because you have to be silent on a feature, basically, because they're picking up everything, because you're usually like on set in the room or whatever, shooting. So that was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah, directing, very much directing it live, and then having the chance to sort of direct it again in terms of really shaping.
Right. It's very Saturday Night Live, where it's like you have a rehearsal and a thing, and you have to get it dead on. Yeah. Do you have any cool stories, or cool is a a phrase. Do you have any like what the F moments while filming this? Either of you like, ah, God, if this happens, I'm gonna die.
Oh my God. There was a moment when they handed you like about an hour before they were like, so here's this wireless mic that you're gonna use. And I was like,
Oh
no,
yeah.
no, no, no. She is using the busted up, scratched up mic at the improv that she's been using for the last set, basically as long as you've been performing. She's using the same mic everyone else uses. We are not introducing a new element
Yeah. No.
to. I don't like wireless. I don't know. There's something weird about wireless mics. It's like it feels too like showy. It feels too like big show, you know?
Yeah, like if I was in a huge, 3,000 seat stadium,
Yeah.
maybe, but
Yeah. It's
Right.
so intimate. It's like you want to literally, yeah, it's like that chord. It's her connection to the audience, you know?
literally, yeah. And there is a chord. There's the thread between comedy and
Yeah.
horror, and let's physically show that chord.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
Right.
in my first special, we had a corded mic go out, so that for the second taping, they were like, "Oh, just use this wireless," and we had so many problems in post because of this wireless. So thank
Right.
goodness we didn't do that.
Wow.
But the WTF moment for me, Tom, do you remember? And bless her heart, a friend of mine who just wasn't thinking that, oh, this is an important taping. This isn't
Oh,
a regular show. She took my drink off of my stool. It was
yeah.
the
Oh.
weird. We had this skull hand, with some water on it. I think we put water in it, but we wanted to be like, oh yeah, I'm drinking tequila because I'm so cool. But I'm like, no, I think you're drunk right now.
Yeah.
But she like grabbed it, and I remember I was like, wait, huh? It was just the weirdest thing. And
Oh
the
my
next day, she's
God.
like, I don't know why I did that. I just thought I was being funny. I said, not on my special.
You don't do it on a taping, pal.
It was so weird. It was, I mean, we laugh about it now, but that
Right.
was so weird.
It is so funny but I think it speaks to like that intimacy between you and
Yes.
the audience and
Yeah,
the idea that people kind of forgot that they were part of a taping, I think is really cool
definitely.
Right.
because what John, the editor, and I realized was I was like, all these people in the audience, they're like cast members too. They are
Right.
part of, I mean, you are the star, it's your show, but they are like cast members. They are like supporting cast members. And it's like,
Yeah.
if someone's doing something messed up in the front row, or, we had a couple of instances, we had like one gal who had like an Apple Watch and, we fixed that in post and you could take that down. But, I made these notes. I was like, next time we do this, no Apple Watches allowed because it like glows really brightly
Right.
in the dark,
Right.
and it's distracting. But yeah, you realize like all those little details and yeah, the intimacy of. I mean, I remember Jackie Steele, who was our host to sort of warm up the crowd before we actually started taping. I think she said as part of her opening hosting bit, she said, "Yeah, they were saying they were doing a taping, and I come in and there's like literally 50 crew members in here." Like,
She didn't realize the power of the Dolby.
yeah. To do it right. We did. I think we had like 8 mics in the audience. I mean,
Yeah. It
just to
was
get,
legit.
yeah, just to like really
Wow.
get like the
Yeah.
beauty of the ambiance of that space.
Yeah.
Right.
There were definitely a couple moments where I saw, like, in between the two shows, where I saw comics who were in the other room just kind of accidentally stumble in, and the look on their face of, what is happening? I've never seen the room look like this. It's pretty epic, actually.
I bet. I bet. Now, do you guys have plans for anything in the future to work with? Like, I don't want to put your friendship on the test here, but tell me, are you guys going to work with each other again?
If he will have me any day, anytime.
No, we get along so well, and I feel like our relationship has just grown and like matured even since shooting it.
Right.
Absolutely.
How
Yeah.
long ago did you shoot this?
Several years ago, and it took a while, and it was going to come out last Halloween, but then there was like a timing thing in terms of when we made the deal, and
Right.
luckily the material is so evergreen. I mean, in talking to our publicist, like he was like, this is great now, and this is great. This is not just like a Halloween special, and this is not just like Halloween 2025.
Right.
Right.
Whatever. I mean, this is totally, it's very evergreen material, as we say in the comedy world.
No,
Um,
I think you guys hit like every bit is, if you're a horror fan, like you said, Samantha, like you're going to get all these. There's emotional things that are going to hit if, you know, you yourself. I think a lot of horror fans have like stories of their family, and I think that's why we kind of gravitate.
Yeah.
So for me, like watching it, like, yes, I understand the father stuff. The comedy, hep, hep, hep. I'm Leo doing the meme every single time. So
Yeah.
I completely get it, but I want to congratulate you guys on this project.
Thank you.
Right now, you can check out Samantha Hale, Horror Nerd, directed by Tom Dolby, starring, written by the great Samantha Hale. Thank you for coming on the Death Curse Club, guys. If you want to plug anything else or where you can find it, it's on Amazon, Apple. But if there's anything else you want to plug, go away.
Yeah, I mean, Samantha, I have to say, just in terms of continuing stuff, Sam's live show is incredible, and it's not just at the Hollywood Improv in Los Angeles these days. It's all over like the greater Los Angeles area, and you're doing shows all over the United States.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. That's my evil plan, is to be a touring show and to tap into more of the horror conventions and to tap into more of the like the local horror communities and being like, hey, this is a safe space for all the weird kids who love horror. Come hang out. Let's have a good time and laugh. But we do it so once a month at the Hollywood Improv. It's usually the third Friday, and we also just picked up a very new, very cool residency. If you've seen The Mortician on HBO,
Yes.
oh yeah, we do it at the former Lamb family mortuary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Keep bringing that spooky stuff around and travel to the other beach so I could see.
Yes, I would love that.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.